Hi, everybody. Welcome to Tango with Time again. I'm in a new location and my camera is in a slightly different position, so it's all kind of interesting. But we'll start today as we always do, with our breath, and then we'll be going into a little bit of some of the questions I've been getting about how this works on a really day-to-day basis. And I don't know why I can't figure out how to be looking exactly at you, so we'll just have it be a very, very interesting ta-da kind of moment, and we'll go around with that. So settle in comfortably where you are, and I want you to take a deep breath. Just go in, all the way in, relaxing your breath, and just like you can feel it, like filling your body and down to your toes and out to your fingertips, and letting it out, just letting out all the cares and the frustrations and everything that doesn't belong in the fingers and toes. And one more in. So we're just going all the way in and all the way to through your fingers and up into your mind, where it's just going to open up so we can come up with ideas and places and out slowly. And one more without my talking. Thank you. So I've been, I'm, whenever anybody posts anything about time, I have a tendency to just sort of answer it and to respond to that. And a friend of mine just recently said, like, how do you manage time? And my flip answer is always, well, time doesn't like being managed, do you? And this friend actually took me up on it. And I realized might be useful to you, for those of you that have been going through a lot of the theory that we've been doing, that time is partly artificial. There's a lot of history around it. It's fun to play with. I have a tendency to like post pictures of clocks and things. And there haven't been a whole lot of statements that I've done that are really like practical day-to-day things. The most useful, I think, is to remember the crucial question always is, what am I supposed to be doing right now? I mean, whenever you're feeling overwhelmed, not overwhelmed, just have an odd moment, what am I supposed to be doing right now? Hopefully, right now, what you're supposed to be doing is listening to me. But if that's not true, turn it off and come back. It's a recording. You can find it later. What I'm supposed to be doing is talking to you. And I thought there might be useful to do what I do against the chronological time that we all play with, and the way our bodies and minds, and actually the universe, I think, experiences time, since it's sort of a made up piece that we've invented as it goes along. No matter, even scientists know that time changes depending on gravity and speed and all those good things. Um, or our experience of time certainly changes. So, along with that, I'd like you to think about sort of the difference between when you're so involved in a project that you completely lose track of time. And that's when time really isn't being managed. And often you get a lot of things done faster and clearer than you ever would. But we can't predict that often. I mean, we know what we like doing, but we don't really know how that comes out. Um, on the other hand, with that, let me walk you through sort of how my day works. As some of you know, one of the ironies is that I'm sort of addicted to my Apple Watch, which has a timer on it. And one of the ways that I let go of time, that I don't worry about it, is that if I absolutely have to do something in 10 minutes, I can set a 10-minute timer and then go outside of time so I'm not like obsessing about it and doing whatever I'm doing to make things happen within it. And if you do this for a while, if you give yourself that sort of freedom, time the 3-minute egg and do 10 minutes worth of things in that 3 minutes by most people's standards and what it means, that really, really, really becomes possible. So it becomes this dance. It becomes a dance with sort of having a commitment at 1 o'clock, so to speak, and having that in your mind, and then letting that go, not worrying about it. One of the basic ways for those of you that think if you're not going to think about time, nothing will happen, to work with this is in the morning, spend some time, one, being thankful, because being thankful is the basis for almost everything that frees us. And two, just thinking about what your day is supposed to look like. Um, like today, I really would like to do a Facebook Live with you guys. Um, wouldn't hurt to look at my finances. Um, I have a writing group I probably will be part of. It wouldn't be the end of the world if I'm not. My housemates are talking about going somewhere, but they talked about that yesterday and it didn't happen, so, whatever. Um, there'll probably be dogs that'll think they should go for walks. But the crucial things really are there's something at 1 o'clock and there's something at 2 o'clock, and those are things that are on the schedule. And I cooked soft boiled eggs and I needed to time them. Those are the people times that are going along with that. If I talk about deadlines and other things that aren't in the minute, we obsess about doing and time as if they're the same thing, as if it's going to take me 10 minutes to write this, or it's going to take me um, 20 minutes to cook things, or that I actually got to the gym this morning. Yes. And that I wouldn't be done in time to work that with the person that had driven me there. Um, but in point of fact is, it all took exactly what it should do and how it might do. I set an alarm and woke up before the alarm in time to do a meditation thing that I've been planning on doing and forgot to do last night, et cetera, et cetera. So the pieces of time, when you sort of will let it go, start fitting in with it. I argued with myself that I didn't have time to do the meditation thing, did it anyway, and still had 5 minutes before the alarm would have gone off if I hadn't turned it off. So yes, the minutes still fit in, but they don't. It's like somehow it all starts expanding and you end up with these crazy things that start happening, like knowing that you'll just, if you stop obsessing about how you're managing time and working with time and it's a limited thing, and instead say, I've got all the time in the world I need to get this done, because that's the nature of time, that's how it works, you'll discover that it's true. That actually, because time is a made up piece, that if we're not like managing it absolutely and do the tiny little things that we need to do to make our life with other people happy, you'll find you actually are getting to appointments on time by their standards, at least when they expect you. I still remember going to a meeting, living in this space and going to a community meeting. And I was picking somebody up, and there was some reason that things weren't working, and we were running, according to her, late. And she said they always start on time, blah, 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 blah. And we got there and they weren't. They would be fine too. Um, once I was in Tokyo, and yeah, really only once. And I had to catch this train, and trains are famous for always being on the minute on time. And I was trying to get this suitcase down the stairs, and again, it was this thing that, it has to work out the way it's going to work out. And it was 5 minutes late. So if you assume that time is dancing with you, figure out how it's dancing with you so that if things look like they aren't working, say, okay, this is what working looks like. It's a different conversation. This is what working with time, dancing with time, being on time, this is what it looks like. Isn't that interesting? How is it showing up? What's happening now? So I invite you to start playing with it. Start saying, okay, this is what's being on time, what on time looks like. This is what I can do to free my mind to not worry that I have to be somewhere in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. For me, it's my watch, but it can be anything. Phone timers work, or maybe you don't need a timer. But whatever your little thing that gives your mind some reassurance about that, or makes you a socially acceptable person. There has to be examples that, I'm sorry, it's one of those things that you need to experience. So again, I'm inviting you to play with it. Play with the conversation that how time is happening is the right way right now, and that there's plenty of time for everything. And see what happens. Let me know. Um, and hold what you want to get done, and then see what actually does get done. And it'll work out if you dance with it instead of try to manage it and beat it into submission and minute by minutes this and that. So that's sort of a generic little wander around time right now. Um, Schedule when you have to. Assume your commitments are getting honored because you're holding that peace, and be pleasantly surprised however it turns out. That's it. One more breath now. I promised this would be short. And all the way through and relaxing into your day and dancing with time. Thank you very much.